Hi, it's Austin, and I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
I love the way that you tell stories with your music. You're such an incredible songwriter, and I hear that within every song that you release. So before we really dive in and talk about your music process, I want to talk about your writing process and how you learned to write in the first place, and also kind of perfect it as you kept going and creating new music.
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, thank you for saying those nice things. I appreciate that. Um, I I started writing songs, I guess, um, back when I was really little, and just kind of just was trying to figure out um, how to form sentences that made sense. Like I remember asking my mom when I was really little, like, do song lyrics have to make make sense, or can I just say sounds? And she was like, you could say sounds if you want, but I don't think that's going to connect with anyone. So I don't know. I started trying to find songwriters in Utah as I was growing up and going to high school that I could work with and try to learn from. But I don't think it was really until I got to Chicago for college. I started working with this studio of really talented songwriters and artists who were doing it every single day. They kind of brought me in and took me under their wing, and we started doing demo writing for other artists. And then I kind of started demoing records with my voice on them, and that's where I really started to figure out what pop music was, because I think my whole life I was very into more singer songwriter, Adele, Ed Sheeran kind of vibe. And once I started learning how to actually write pop structured songs, I got really into that and started kind of full sending it. And then when I got out to LA and started working with songwriters all the time who were doing pop, but really making it their own and very deep, and adding the singer songwriter element into that, is when I feel like I found my writing style. And it took a really long time to get there. I wrote a lot of really, really bad songs, and I still do, but I think I finally figured out what I want to sound like. So that's good. Took a long time.
Would you say you have this rhythm, or this kind of this way of writing every single song, like a formula, or would you say it kind of varies within each track that you release, and also depending on who you collaborate with on these records?
It definitely varies, especially if I'm doing a song just for me, or like you said, collaborating with somebody else, especially when it's their art and their process. I think for me, I've kind of figured out this way that I like writing my own stuff. I usually like to find a bunch of reference tracks that I really like and bring them into a producer and kind of get a vibe going, and then write conceptually the whole concept, and then create a melody and fit it all into that. And I kind of stick with that process every time I write. But when I go in with other people, I try and ask them what they want to do and how they do it, and kind of go really instead of forcing that on them. And yeah, I honestly feel like every single artist that I've written with does it completely differently. And that's what's really cool, is there's no right way to do anything in this industry.
How do these experiences with other songwriters, or even knowing that you're writing a song for another artist, whether it's a specific artist or just another artist for to pick it up, how do these experiences help you be more in tuned with your artist project when it's time to write for Austin Music?
I mean, I think the more experience you have at anything, the better you're going to get. I honestly, if I look back at when I first moved to LA, what I was trying to write for myself and write for other people, it's almost laughable compared to what I'm doing now. But I think at any stage of your life, you can look back to 2 years ago and be like, what was I doing? What was I wearing? You know? But I think that some of the people that I've worked with and the songs we've written, it's completely invaluable to the way that I'm shaping my own art. I would not be the person I am or the artist I am without all the people I've worked with. So I feel super fortunate to have gotten to do that.
Tell me a little bit about your relationship with Drew from Friday Pilots Club, who has been pretty much your go-to producer and collaborator on your music. But like, how did you guys first meet and get together and start working together? And what was it about Drew that made you comfortable to the point that you've been, collaborating together for a lot of your music?
I love that question. How did I meet Drew? Okay, so a couple years ago in Chicago, back when I was being with that other studio and I was starting to do pop music, I put out like one of my first songs that was very pop. And Drew reached out to me on Instagram and was like, "Hey, I'm this like producer in Chicago. Here's some of my stuff that I've done. I'm really trying to break into pop, and I don't know anyone in Chicago who's doing that. Like, do you want to like try to do a session?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I remember we like we went into his studio and it was kind of like awkward and clunky, and we like wrote this song that was like not super good. Like the chemistry just like wasn't really there. We like kind of kept in touch over Instagram, whatever, and like we went to the same school, so we would like run into each other at parties sometimes. And I don't know what it was, but like I think a year or a year and a half later, I ran into him and we decided we were going to try it again. And we got into the studio, and it just so happened that I was like ending things with this person I was seeing, and he was also ending things with somebody. And so we were both really emo that day, and we like wrote this super emotional song, interlude thing that ended up being Last Time Part Two, which is on my record that just came out. And it was that moment that we kind of both were like, okay, I think we have something really special here. And we just started writing all the time together. And at the same time, we started going out for drinks and dates. And then we started dating. And now we are dating and working together. And it's really fun. And so he's kind of like the person that I love working with. I don't want to say the most, because there's like so many other collaborators I work with that I love. And we have such a great vibe. But I think there's something that's just easy with Drew, because we've been working together for like 2.5 years now, and we've been through so much. And I don't know. I've really enjoyed working with him. Yeah.
The fact that you guys wrote that song over 2 years ago or something like that, and then it just dropped this year. What was it about
Yeah.
that song that you felt like it was a song that was supposed to be heard? One, and two, like, how different is the song now from that original version that you guys first wrote?
Actually, it's the exact same day of. We didn't change anything about it, which I thought was really special. Um, to be completely honest, I had a lot of those songs done a long time ago. And there was just a lot that happened. I feel like, um, I went through a change in management. I moved to Los Angeles from Chicago. I started writing with new people and like really questioned myself on whether those songs were right for me or not. And we wrote some new ones to kind of like fit in with the new vibe of the project. So it took a long time to get that project finished and out. And I think Last Time Part Two was one of the songs that like I just felt so connected with, and I didn't really care that it was an interlude, because a lot of people were saying like nobody listens to interludes, you don't need it, like blah blah blah. And I was like, you know what, I don't care, I like it, and it's coming out. So I'm really glad that I made that decision.
This entire EP, you say like it's been written for some time already. Um, what was it about these songs that like even a couple years later they still are fresh? There's still something new. And because I feel like artists, when they write a record and they have to sit on it before release, by the time that record is released, like they're already over that music.
Right.
So how did you not go through that during this process?
I mean, I definitely did. And I still have that artist problem where every single time I write something new, I just want to put that out, and I'm so excited. And my team's like, okay, we just finished like producing this song and we're getting it mixed, like slow down. Um, but I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. There was just something about the songs on that project mixed with some of the new ones that we had written that I couldn't let go of. Like my song Am I Talking Too Much, for example, I wrote with my friend Lisa, like I don't even know. I think it was like 3 years ago, maybe more. And it was written to just like this simple little like funny guitar melody thing. And I think we went through like 7 different versions of production until we finally got it right. And I swear to God, Drew like almost stopped working with me over that song because he was like, I hate it, I can't crack it. Um, but we finally got it to a place where I absolutely love it. And it's like that's probably my favorite song to like perform live. And I don't know how to explain it, but I couldn't let go of a lot of those songs, and I'm like really glad that I didn't.
The fact that there's this chemistry and relationship, obviously, with you and Drew, I feel like that sometimes that could make it harder to step out of your comfort zone or harder to kind of like put your foot down when you want a certain sound, a certain vocal on a record. How would you say like that he's able to challenge you in the studio within each new song that you guys work on together? And what is that chemistry like when you guys are, creating this music?
Um, I think with any relationship, whether it's like a romantic one or purely just like a musical relationship, it's going to be hard to learn the boundaries with working with new people. And I think that because me and Drew have been working together for so long, we are good at telling each other, like, no, this is what I want. Um, it was kind of an interesting dynamic, like getting to that point, especially because like you don't want to hurt someone's feelings or like step on their ideas and whatnot. But I think we've gotten to a good place where um, I don't know, we're able to have that conversation very well. And there's so many things about his brain where he's very like music theory, classical music oriented, and he also like grew up on metal. And I, on the other hand, like don't understand music theory. I went to school for it for 4 years and I couldn't tell you anything about it. It just does not fit in my brain. And I grew up on like singer songwriter music and pop. And so put them together and obviously like we're gonna butt heads and not get along on a lot of things, but I think that's what makes it really cool is like a lot of the pop that's come out of my writing is very musical because he has the production side of it and he makes it interesting. So I don't know, I think it's a good dynamic. I hope. I think.
Let's talk a little bit about Lie About You, because the original version doesn't have Lauren Sanderson in it, correct?
No,
This is something fresh, and I love that it's Lauren Sanderson. I love her so much. Like, I'm so excited that you guys collaborated on this. But talk to me about like this process. Like, what made you want to bring her on board with this song, and what was that chemistry like between the two of you?
Oh my God. I freaked out when I found out that she was down. Okay, so starting kind of at the beginning, the original version of Lie About You was written a while ago, like another like year and a half ago, and maybe longer than that. The song's been out for almost a year. I don't know. I can't keep track of anything anymore. I wrote the song a while ago, and it felt like so personal, and just like really detailed. And I was like, nobody's gonna like this. No one is ever gonna listen to this. So I just like put it in my notes app and decided not to put it out. And then when I was home for the holidays and like kind of drinking some wine and getting in my feels, I decided to like put it up on TikTok. So I was like, whatever. And I woke up the next morning and the video had gone like semi-viral. And actually Lauren Sanderson had commented on it being like, this is dope. Like, let me know if you want a feature. And I was like, haha, sure. Right. And I don't know, like I ended up getting in touch with her management and we like FaceTimed and talked back and forth for a little while. And even though like so much time went by, she still was like so down and so excited. So finally we were able to, after like months and months of like putting out other songs and like happening, we got into the studio together and wrote her verse. And yeah, she just came in and absolutely killed it. And then we shot a music video. And I don't know, she's one of those people that's just like an absolute superstar. And the second she walks into the room, you're like, that's Lauren Sanderson. And yeah, I don't know. It was very surreal. I'm still not convinced that it actually happened. I think maybe it's just a joke and everyone is in on it, but it was cool.
Well, I'm glad that it did happen, and I think, like, I think I would have loved either Lauren or Carly Hansen is another one that I would love to see like a
Uh,
collaboration with you.
Carly's
Uh,
dope.
and I mean, how sick would a Lauren Anderson, Carly Hansen, and Austin tour be? Like,
The sickest. I know. I swear all of my little super fans that I love so much are in her DMs all the time being like, take Austin. And she texted me and was like, we'll see.
let's make it happen.
Yeah. Oh my God. No, it'd be crazy. But yeah, well, let's just cross our fingers that touring is even possible next year.
Yeah,
Cause
seriously.
yeah.
Seriously. Now, I guess to somewhat close us off, like you just dropped a new single New Year's Eve, appropriate for the times, obviously. But like, what really kickstarted the writing process for you on this track? And what did you feel you did differently, whether it was on your vocals or your songwriting?
Ooh, okay. So first of all, I think this song is kind of me leading into this next chapter of what I want my music and sound to be like. I think a lot of like my project and my talking too much was very like pop and production based, and I wanted to kind of lean into more of this like natural organic sounding alt version of myself that I've always wanted to do and been like a little bit too scared to. So I went up into the I went up to a cabin with Jordy and my friend Katie and Drew, and we had like a writing camp, and that's actually where we wrote "Till It Hurts" for Jordy's records. We had like a really fun weekend of writing, and I had this really weird day where I was just feeling really down on myself and down on the world, and everyone getting and everything that was happening and seeming like nobody really um, cared at the end of the day about like changing things and trying to be better. And every single year, like we'd always celebrate New Year's and have all these New Year's resolutions and say like all these ways we're going to be better. And then the new year would come and we would never do anything. And so I was talking about that with Jordy, Katie, and Drew. And I don't know, the song just like spilled out. I think we were all just kind of fed up with all kind of dealing with the same situation simultaneously. And um, yeah, we recorded that vocal like one time through in a cabin in Big Bear. And I ended up keeping that vocal on the actual record, which was cool because I've actually never done that. I think all my vocals on my last project, except for Last and Part Two, were completely re recorded. So I was proud of that. And yeah, I think it's kind of a good segue into a new chapter of what I want my music to sound like. So,
Damn.
yeah.
First go. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I really felt it. I was really pissed off that day. So,
Damn, that is crazy, and I'm looking forward to more music from you. Obviously, like so the fact that you're going into this new chapter, do you already have a full vision in mind of what you want your sound to be like, or are you still somewhat trying to navigate through different styles and genres to kind of figure it out?
I think I'm still figuring it out. I have a lot of songs written that I really, really love. And I think the next part is just figuring out what kind of production is like true to me because I don't want to I don't want to go down this next like rabbit hole and forget what my old sound was like. I want to figure out how to incorporate it. And I think that's going to be somewhat of a process. So I will get back to you on how that goes because I think this next year is going to be really like diving into that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, lastly, what can your fans look forward to as far as 2022 goes? Aside from like your music, this new style, new chapter of your music, but what are you looking forward to as far as 2022 goes?
I'm looking forward to writing a lot more with other people. I just signed my first pub deal, which is really exciting. So I'm hoping to, yeah, kind of start writing for more artists. I think writing my friend Jordy's album was really the first experience I had with like writing for somebody else and creating like their um, vision. And so I definitely want to be doing that more for people. And then also, I'm going on tour with the greeting committee in February. So I'll be hitting some new cities and yeah, I'm excited for that.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. Congrats on Mind Games as well. That album was incredible.
Thanks.
Uh, you and Charlotte Sands like did an incredible job like with your collaborations with Jordy, and
Oh, thanks so
I'm so
much.
excited for that record. Um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to 2022. If you can add someone else to the list of people to collaborate with, I would say Lolo. She's from Canada. She's a pop punk
Oh, I love Lolo.
queen.
We're big Lolo fans here.
Good, because yeah, you guys do some writing sessions together because she's so dope.
She's great. Yeah, I will definitely text her and tell her that you said that right now.
Please, yes. Awesome. Well, enjoy the rest of your night. Happy holidays. Thank you so much for taking the time, and we're reuniting next year. So,
Yeah, thanks for having me. I can't wait.